So I know I replied in like another video comment thing, but this was just such a really good comment. I wanted to elaborate on it because it's something that I don't think a lot of my people on my my community fully know or understand about me, especially because I have found through this journey, since I've been, especially on TikTok or just in general, having a more extroverted public expression of myself. Because I'm a pretty introverted person. I keep to myself a lot, but I've started this platform and this business and this brand and this blah blah blah, and so I have my own personal beliefs, aesthetic, gods, deities, and spiritual path or journey that I am on. Mine is quite eclectic, and I handle things as they come before me. So whatever spirit, entity, deity, god, goddess, etc., whatever crosses my path in that moment in time, I'm going to approach with respect and an open heart and open mind, because I firmly believe in learning from everything. I think people get too dogmatic and too elitist, which I've been there in my own way. I think we were all like bratty little tweens who were elitist about like their music taste or their favorite movie or whatever pop culture identity was their aesthetic at that time. But I find it to be incredibly immature in like a modern society, within witch talk, within any like spiritual community, within any spiritual being, brand, church, cult, etc. There's just like this elitism that this is my one truth. I am better than you. And I think that there's truth in everything. I think that people draw their own conclusions on a metaphorical basis, and we could go on and on about kind of how I approach spiritual philosophy and things like that. But it is mirrored in my art and doing these like altar candles and ritual candles, or just like spiritually like symbolic art pieces. Like I don't know, because I don't like labels. As a stereotypical Aquarius, I don't fucking like labels, but I don't want to be exclusive. I want to be exclusive, but I don't want to be exclusive, right? It's that sweet spot. It's exclusive in the sense that I won't recreate a design. I'm not going to mass produce anything, but it's not exclusive in the fact that everyone's welcome, as long as like you're not a piece of shit. Like that's pretty much like my rule or my standard is like, be who you are and I'll welcome you with open arms. But as soon as you start being like ethically shitty, then we're gonna have issues. And I know people might feel like that's hypocritical coming from me, but if you understand my philosophy and my principles, it's really about like the fine details of the intention, right? So candles, I have made them for a variety of different things. A lot of my path so far has been on creating for deities, gods, goddesses, etc., that have connected to me in one way, shape, or form or another. As far as for other people, I think it can be difficult for people to reach out to me to make certain things. And I think it's because they assume or have this understanding for some reason that I'm not for them, which, hey, I may not be for everybody. That's totally fine. But like my whole point is, if someone wanted me to make a Jesus candle, I would. If someone wanted me to make a Swiftie candle, I would. If you want me to craft something for you that is completely separate from me, I will happily. Like, I know, like, a lot of people are like, oh, that's just not fun for me because it doesn't fit me. I don't care. There's maybe the of service, sixth house energy within me. It could be part of my people-pleasing tendencies. I don't know. I just want people to be happy. I want to create things for people that genuinely make them happy and fit them and what they need. So if you have a Christian-based philosophy that is completely opposite of my philosophy, I'm still going to treat you with love and humanity and create something for you to help you along your spiritual path. And the intention is going to be a pure intent, and however you use it, or your intention is separate from mine, you know, like with what I put into making the talisman. And I don't think, just like, as far as like spiritual theory goes, I wouldn't think that it could be utilized otherwise outside of the pure intention. Even with like transmutation theories and stuff, like people might be able to weaponize it, but again, once it's with the owner, it is separate from me. So if they want me to create something, however they use this, how they use it, and it's on their path, right? Yeah, I made the sword. I didn't control what you did with it, right? So anyway, that's just kind of like where my philosophy is, because like I like to study everything as far as myths and the occult and religions and cultures, because I think we're more interconnected than we give ourselves credit for. And I think that's like the split of like the dogma and like in the culture. Like I really don't like this whole I don't respect your beliefs, my beliefs are better than yours kind of thing. And that's, as someone who is pretty passionate about my beliefs, and like I speak with conviction about them, but generally speaking, as long as your beliefs isn't like harming or oppressing another being, without like a sense of compromise, and I know it gets complicated, but anyway, the whole point about all of this is I like creating, and I feel like people come to me because they're excited to see, I guess, my interpretation of that esoteric philosophy, myth, etc., and I bring it to life for them because I don't know, like I said, I'm open-minded and open-hearted to all of it, and I accept them and embrace them and face them in that way. So I think I can create some really cool things and be diverse, and I guess in a way like a little indifferent to the rigid boundaries of practices, in the sense that I have my practice, but I feel like being open-minded and sharing practices and cultures on top of, like, you expand yourself, the more really influence, but the more you connect with community of different, diverse, non-like-minded people, I feel like the more you grow, the more adversarial energy you face, because adversarial energy is just something that opposes you. I think that's a level or of lesson in becoming invincible or immortal, because nothing hurts me in that way. I'm not going to start a war because you're different than me. In fact, I'm going to hold space for you to exist, and I'm going to analyze you, understand you, blah, 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 and I'm only going to defend myself if there is an obvious threat, not just you with your lifestyle choices. And so, anyway, all of this is just to explain, like, I want to be a safe space. I hate saying stuff like that, but I want to be a safe space for people to connect and dive deeper into themselves and their spiritual practice. So, a couple of my friends have called me like a soul guide. I don't like titles. I get weird about those things, but I don't care what your culture or dogma or philosophy of choice is, as long as it's in alignment with you, and then it's refining it into a state of integrity through like meditative shadow work practice, which is big part of what my candles do. It's so layered and everything that I do with the candles and like my spiritual practice, but I just want to connect people more to the spiritual side and not be afraid of what realm of spirituality is in alignment for them in this lifetime, because I think we're all on our path for a reason at this moment in time throughout all of time.